Yeah, definitely. Again.
I was part of the first cohort that was holding up placards and stamping about in the streets, so I was in Norwich, I was at school, and we were arguing and fighting about trying to get equal pay and equal acceptance in college and university courses, which in the 60s you didn't.
Yeah, I would say everyone should be a feminist, definitely.
There's the more subtle aspects of feminism now that need to be dealt with, like women still are expected to do the housework and everything else, but go out to work as well.
Actually, because I'm quite old, I think a lot about it. I think a lot of it. Because when I was young, women didn't have as many rights as they have now. Maybe the same rights, but not the same freedom. And I think, women just make still too much pressure on themselves about how they look and if they are nice enough. And so I think it's not out of fashion.
It's just something that's come down through the family over generations. Dad was always the same, Granddad was the same before that. So we both have our own roles. Penny works just as hard as I do in the house, although she does have a job herself as well.
What I think, feminism is stupid because they fighting for being equal, live the same, work as a constructor, work on a refinery. They're not strong as they should be. Nature create them for different tasks.
So it's when a man treats a woman like she can't do something because she's a woman. Actually, it's not fair, but it exists. So I think men always think that they are more dominant than women.
I'm a feminist in the way that I think that everyone should be equal and have equal opportunities, but I'm not so into feminism that I describe myself as a feminist artist or activist or anything like that.
I think technically I would have to class myself as a feminist, although I wouldn't really want to use the word feminist to describe myself either, because I think that it should kind of be more of a passive thing than thinking, oh, I am a feminist. No, I'm kind of more towards the side of thinking, I don't know, you want to be like a humanist or whatever word you want to say. I think putting femme at the start of it is a mistake to begin with.
What do I think? Strong. It's a strong word, definitely. Should be used more often.
Since the beginning of time, females were subordinate. And that's the fight to basically give equal rights to the male species. Females has always been suppressed since the beginning of time. To be really honest, I think it comes from when religion was made, man-made. Because since in all religion, woman was treated like a second-hand citizen. And it's been preached since the beginning of time. And it's about time that needs to be set right.
Working together should get the same pay if they're doing the same job. But I don't call that feminist, I just call that fairness. That's fair. But I don't want to, I wouldn't want to be a feminist to the point where my husband doesn't open the car door for me or help me out. I don't want to be that kind of woman. Once you get to a certain age, you can't afford to be that. It's just equal. Feminism to me always sounds as though women want to fly aeroplanes as well as pilots, and they want to, the ships, they want to be captain of a ship, they get it, and what do? Lose it. Lose it because of sex. And then they say they shouldn't, they should be there. They shouldn't. Not if they don't know how to behave.
Why do women go for these high jobs, pilot, police force, army, that when they say, oh, I've been
somebody touched me. Oh my God, somebody touched me.
That's not feminist.
In this country, we're wonderful. They should go to Latin countries. They get more than their bottom pinched. That's for sure. Spain's the worst place. Italy's awful for getting your bottom pinched. But they think that that's just everyday thing. Here, we make it sound like, oh my God, double weight.
It's gone the other way.
Gone too far.
They're making one against the other.
Yeah.
It's
I like
you can't
being
have your
one.
say. You can't have your rights, and they're putting blocks in everywhere you go. And that's not feminist. That's
You've
stupid.
got to have fairness.
That's stupid.
Equality. If a woman wants to fly a plane, okay.
Ask me
But don't
first.
make a big thing about it. Just do it. Just get your passes and what have you, and go and fly a plane.
But don't use
But it's in the newspapers and it's on television. About this woman. It's as though it's impossible that she should be doing it. They're doing it. The media are doing this.
Don't use their sex gender as an excuse.
No.
Which they are. And that's not feminist.
Would you like to be standing next to a woman in a war? Or would you not rather be standing next to a man?
Well, I respect feminism, but I hear some other people commenting other things. So I always take that into account, but I never actually discuss what feminism is, because it's one of those topics that most people try to avoid. Because in my vocabulary, I don't actually have a lot of things to say about feminism, because I don't know about the issue.
It's the way that men and women have to be equal in everything. It means in salary, working, studying, and at home as well. And at the same time, I have a bad experience with the feminist groups, because when I used to be very little, my mom's what's the name? Boss was the main people from feminist groups, and they used to, for example, send Christmas postcards to my mom and saying Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, but never to my dad. So that's why I think this is not feminine. The feminine, I think, is good if in the correct way, but sometimes is in the level that they hate is the way that they hate to the man.
Feminism. I think it's very good, really. Because we all deserve to be equal. But there is taking it a bit too far at times. But
maintain all my rights?
No, I'm a great believer in the old style roles of a guy going out and doing the work. More of a protector.
Really take care of women, really. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like it, but they do, really. I mean, if a woman got shot, then a man soldier isn't going to go and leave her. He would make sure he picked her up. So,
They come from equality. They're trying to be equal. They're not.
I mean, if a woman is, let's say, a black belt in karate, okay, put her on the front line, she'll be all right. But not some of these slender girls, beautiful girls.
They've got to carry all these packs, haven't they?
Yes, they do.
Walk for miles and miles. I can't see them being equal to a man. You know.
He just looks after me.
I don't think it is. That is not equal. That is a bit one way or the other.
I think women are getting better at coping with what men do, but it hasn't got there yet.
Why do you think these women want all of a sudden this change in the world where they want to be equal?
Years ago, women wanted to be equal in that they could go to work and earn a living and help to pay for their children's educations and what have you.
Which needs to be done today.
Yes, it
due
does.
to the circumstances.
Women do that.
But
they do it to help.
You don't see many women on building sites, or you don't see many women on scaffolding, or.
I do. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with everything to do with feminism. Maybe that's because I already believe that a lot of things that go on in this generation we are quite equal. With men as well, there are things that I think women do that men also do, and vice versa. So I do think it is a necessary topic for a lot of people out there. It makes sense, but I suppose it's never really affected me at all in my life, so I've never had to worry about it.
Definitely, more than ever, and I think a lot of people think that feminism isn't particularly relevant these days and that we're kind of past it, but I mean, there still isn't equality, like wages are still not equal. You can see through the ridiculous disparity in women going through art school and women having exhibitions, the percentages are just completely off kilter, and yeah, so it's definitely relevant today.
Yeah, because it keeps kind of changing. Like, I wouldn't say first wave feminism is as relevant as it was, but it kind of grows with the way society grows.
I haven't thought too much about the subject. I mean, I'm not sexist. I just nothing's really made me think on those kind of lines.
They're doing all right.
But they are pushing a bit more.
If only they wouldn't say he touched me. That girl in the House of Commons, and she said when they stood, this man, Lord Brennan, was it, touched her. Why didn't she turn around and slap his face? That's easy, you know. And that would have said, well, here I am, I'm me, and I'm as good as you are. But you play around with me and I'll knock your block off.
I don't know really, no. I wouldn't say I was. No. But then I just plod along in my own little world anyway, so yeah, I'm just me really. I wouldn't say I was a feminist or anything. So